Los Angeles, California, January 12. Blake Jarwin. Photo by Sean M. Haffey, Getty Images. During this past offseason, there were two primary storylines for the Dallas Cowboys, and both revolved around pass catchers. The first talking point, and most dominant, was how they would address their gaping hole at wide receiver. After releasing wide receiver Dez Bryant, there were no players on the team that commanded the respect of the defense as a number one wideout would. Dallas believed they could survive with a committee approach, which quickly proved to be wrong. Eventually, they traded for Amari Cooper as they admitted their error in judgment. While his arrival brought closure to this topic, their other off-season storyline centered around the tight end position. For years Jason Witten manned that spot for the Cowboys, and they never had to think twice about it. Witten is a surefire Hall of Famer and was also one of the more durable players in team history, as he missed just one game in his career, which came during his rookie season of 2003. Then, just ahead of the 2018 NFL Draft, Witten decided to hang up his cleats and took a job calling Monday Night Football games for ESPN. Possibly due to the late timing of his retirement, the boys did little to replace Witten and again find themselves needing to consider making a move in free agency this year. While they do have some young guys developing in Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz, Dallas could look to the open market for someone to start as they continue to work with these young players. With that in mind, here are 5 free agents who could start at tight end for the Cowboys in 2019. Page 2. Miami Gardens, FL, December 31. Charles Clay. Photo by Mark Barron, Getty Images. At first glance, many would shrug off the idea of going after former Buffalo Bills tight end Charles Clay due to his age and poor production in 2018. Clay did just turn 30, and last season saw him record his lowest numbers since his second season in the league, which was 2012. More from NFL Spin's own. In 13 games, Clay had just 21 catches for only 184 yards and no touchdowns. It was the first time in his career that he had 0 scores, and his 8.8 yards per reception average was the worst of his 8-year career. However, those numbers may not all be on Clay, as the Buffalo offense was just bad as a whole. According to NFL.com, the Bills were number 30 in the NFL in scoring with 16.8 points per game and 31st in passing yardage with just 174.6 per contest. They also struggled to keep a starting quarterback, as they went through A.J. McCarron in the preseason and then Nathan Peterman, Josh Allen, Matt Barkley, and Derek Anderson in the regular season. That kind of uncertainty under center took its toll on the offense, and Clay, who had routinely churned out 500-plus yards for the majority of his career. While he doesn't have many years left, he does still have what it takes to contribute to an NFL team, and the Cowboys could use his skill and leadership ability on their offense. He likely wouldn't get a long-term deal, but he could be a short-term option as they look for their next long-term starter. Page 3. Use your arrows to browse Arlington, TX, September 30. Jeff Swaim. Photo by Tom Pennington, Getty Images. This one may feel like cheating, since Jeff Swaim has spent his entire career with the Cowboys, but he is technically a free agent. Swaim is also widely expected to leave, as the belief is the Cowboys will try and bring in a player to start who offers more in the passing game than Swaim did. While it is true that Swaim wasn't a huge threat to do much through the air, he was starting to come around some before a broken wrist ended his 2018 season prematurely. The fourth-year pro was thrust into a starting role this past season when Jason Witten unexpectedly retired and had just 9 career receptions. That was mainly by design, as the Cowboys used Swaim as an extra blocker for the first 3 seasons of his career, which was unsurprising as they traded back into the 7th round of the 2015 draft to select Swaim due to the blocking prowess he showed at Texas. Swaim then blew away his career numbers by catching 26 passes for 242 yards and a score in 9 games. Projected out over 16 games, that would have given him 46 catches for 430 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those numbers might not be sexy, but it proves he's a capable player at the position. The fact that his numbers don't blow anyone away could also be a reason to bring him back on a 1- or 2-year deal. Swaim is the type of player who could do the job, but could also slide back to a blocking tight end should either Jarwin or Schultz make huge strides this offseason. Use your arrows to browse.